What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys have been having a good day, and today we have been playing Hyper Light Breaker for the past couple of days right now, because it feels like every single month I'm looking for another roguelike game to try and play and just satiate that never-ending addiction. It dropped on Steam a couple days ago and is in early access, and I've been having a really awesome time playing the game. But that being said, I've been noticing some things as I've been playing the game that I've seen a lot of other people discussing, and so I wanted to give some critiques here and there to try and help the game figure out a little bit of a way and some visuals as to how to best make the game better. And it all stems from this single point of the game is incredibly difficult and the gameplay that it has. And so in the interest of trying to help create a better product, let's just talk about some things that I've noticed and just go over how these could potentially be changed a little bit into order to create a better game. I think overall the foundations of what the gameplay is trying to be is incredibly solid. You've got a cool selection of weapons that you can choose from, both melee weapons and range weapons, and you've got a lot of upgrades that can be had in order to enhance your kit, but absolutely none of that matters if you die in like 4 seconds. The enemies hit like absolute trucks. They can kill you in potentially 4 hits on a good day, and that's assuming you hadn't taken damage and you're at full health going into that fight. These things also will swarm you at every single moment that you can, and so if you are by yourself playing this game and you find yourself surrounded by a horde of enemies, more often than not, you're gonna take at least 1 hit in that exchange, and you still have the rest of the map to explore, the rest of it to go through, or you're trying to extract, which is in and of itself a entire onslaught of enemies that you have to fight in order to actually extract. You don't just go there and leave, which is only further made worse by the fact that when you're hit, you're staggered. And so when you're staggered, you can't do anything until that stagger duration ends. You are literally left helpless, and so if there's another enemy that attacks you, you're just basically defenseless. So all that together creates this scenario where you're constantly on guard because any single misstep could cost you a large chunk of your health and potentially end your run before you even get any real progress. And that can happen incredibly early into going into the world. And so what's one of the easier ways that we can fix this? Well, one of them could just be giving us actual healing items before we start the game. Normally, you have to find a resource that's out in the open world, and then once you go back to the hub world, that is converted into a med kit that you can use in your next run. Is cool and all, and I think that that's fine. However, there's the problem that is at some point you do run out, and once you run out, there's nothing left. And so I'm not saying that the whole idea behind crafting is necessarily bad, but it could be possible that instead of just forcing you to have to go out and scrounge these items, give you a set number of healing items, let's say maybe 2 or 3 at the very start, and then sporadically sprinkle them throughout the map. Let me not have to worry about finding a resource. Instead, just put them there for me to find in a chest so that way I can find them. I'm not asking for them to be all over the place, but to just have them there. Because truly, going into the game with 0 healing items and going into the game with 1 healing item, there's a world of a difference in how long I'm able to survive just off of having 1 of them. I think also making a few tweaks to the amount of hit stun that a player has would do a large help for the game. I just don't want to be wombo comboed into oblivion every single time that I go in. I'm fine with losing, but it's another thing when after getting hit that all I can do is nothing and just watch as I get hit once after another, and the next thing I know, potentially 50% of my HP is gone. Which then also brings me to the probably last biggest thing that I've noticed in the short amount of time that I've had to play this game is if you're doing whatever it takes to avoid getting attacked, then you're naturally going to play in a way that promotes that level of defensiveness. You're not going to want to use a weapon that's going to let you to get hit if getting hit means that you're losing not only a bunch of HP, but being put in a hit stun that gets you even more hurt. And that gets even more heightened when you realize the end lag on your attacks is very high on some of these weapons. And so you'll just be minding your own business using your special attack on a group of enemies, and then all of a sudden you get attacked because your attack didn't kill them and they were still going. And so you have no way to defend yourself in the end lag of your ability. Which is interesting because for your light attacks, you totally have the option to cancel out and dash and reflect. And I just wish that that would be a thing with our special attack. Let it consume the refresh timer so that way if you do that you still have to wait for it to come back online. So that way you're not just spamming it over and over and over again and then dodging to try and make sure you do it at the perfect save time. Let there be an actual risk to doing it other than just, oh, you're at risk of getting attacked. It's, oh, you can do this, but you might have to cancel it too early and you don't get the value out of it and you'll have to wait for it to come back online. online again. But what do you think? At the end of the day, this is still an early access game, so I'm not gonna rip this game into the ground when they're very clearly still communicating and trying to figure out how to make this game into the best game that it can be. And so I'm not gonna say that this is a game that's just dead on arrival. It's not even arrived fully yet. And so these are just my thoughts. Take it or leave it. I don't really care. But if you enjoyed this video, well, leave a like and subscribe so that way we can talk about more games and everything that's happening together. Alrighty, well, that's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Till next time, see ya!